Um, I'm not really sure if you would like to talk a little bit about your community in. You said you're in North Dakota, right?
I'm in North Dakota right now, and we have an extremely small community.
Okay.
Yeah, our mosque is teeny tiny, and we have about, I want to say, maybe 30 people total in the community out here. And so I have a couple of sisters that I'm able to talk with and sometimes meet with. We try to have Quran classes on Sundays, but it kind of fell through and didn't work out, so that's unfortunate. I think I'm gonna see if I can find something online, some type of Quran study group online, but I haven't looked in that area yet. Maybe you can point me in that direction if you
Sure.
know.
Yeah. So you were in Washington and you moved to North Dakota. Why North Dakota?
Well, I actually have some land out here,
Okay.
and I had intended to sell it. I ended up selling half of it, but now I've decided to keep the other half because one of the other reasons I came out here was the coronavirus had really kind of upset things in the Washington area
So you
about.
recently, you're just new in North Dakota. Okay.
Yeah, well, I had been out here much longer time ago. That's when I purchased some land out here.
Okay.
I had just left it alone, and I was in Washington. So I'm still kind of trying to figure out where to go at this point because of the whole coronavirus thing. But right now, I just am kind of sitting put because I'm safe and comfortable, and we don't have a lot of corona out here in North Dakota.
Yeah. Well, it's a small. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Population
I was
wise.
worried about it, and it was, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty.
It's a small. It's a small population too. So
Mhm.
about the Muslims, do they have any kind of like circle of knowledge, like lectures or anything like that they do in the mosque? Like, how is it? Like, I understand now because of the coronavirus, most of the mosques are very slow in giving lectures and doing
Mhm.
activities. So, how are you coping in a small community of of Muslims in North Dakota? And like, how do you connect with each other, guys? Do you still go to the masjid on Fridays?
Well, I've been to the masjid a few times, but we weren't open for quite a while,
Right.
and not many people are going. But we do have a WhatsApp sisters group,
Okay.
and we have a WhatsApp Islamic Center group, so people can post little things on there
Awesome.
and kind of share whatever it is that they want to share. For example, we have a new halal restaurant with small grocery store that opened up in town, and so everyone was able to find out about that through the WhatsApp group.
Awesome.
But other than that, it has been, kind of quiet. I guess would say the word. Would the word
Uh,
be quiet?
yeah.
How is it in Texas? What is it like for you out there?
So before I come to Texas here, I've been well. I lived first of all. I lived in Texas for 17 years. I became Muslim in Texas 15 years ago, and we have what we call mega masjids. Like we have masjids that they have over than 3-4 thousand people that they are members. We have masajid that they do two khutbas on Fridays, two ceremonies, and sometimes three ceremonies in one day because it's just like a lot of people come. And so here's the thing about the big masajid in the West, especially here in Texas, that it takes time to do any kind of dawah work, and it needs a lot of patience and a lot of politics, let's say, because the mosques are um, are like supervised by board of directors, board of trustees, and so the imam. does not really have a big authority in doing things in the mosque. It's not like a small masjid where the imam can just like decide for what he wants to do in the masjid. No, everything has to go through board of directors. You have to have any, fill out paperwork, make some take some permission from them to do any kind of dawah work in the masjid, like for example make a tour, or like even do halaqa, like lectures or anything like this. So they already, most of the mosques over here are already set up to have like lectures for sisters, and they have like the lessons that they do in the morning after fajr by the imam. Sometimes they do also like weekend fundraisings and like some kind of special events, but most of it is like only bound to the members of that mosque. You see what I'm saying? Like they don't allow somebody from outside. It's just like popping up and say, "Hey, I want to do something over here," and they don't do it. Like for example, I've been doing the sister closet thing back when I was in Alabama and in Virginia, and it was very successful because the mosques over there are very cooperative with me. That they make announcement every weekend, or every Friday, for anybody who would like to donate any clothes for sisters, like abayas, hijabs, shurwal qamis, things like that, right? But here in Texas, it's like if I want to go and talk to anybody, I have to apply for it and get a form and write down what I really want to do, and they will investigate with me before they make any kind of approval. Does that make sense? And so that's why we have now, for like charities and things like that, we have organizations now that they are specialized to collect donations and charities for people that they are in need. So we have, for example, here Texas Women Association. This organization helped the women that they were abused by their husbands, and they offer shelters for them and food and everything. We have another organization is called United Ummah for refugees that help the newcomer refugees to settle down and teach them ESL, and also like they offer classes to teach the kids and the parents like some Quran, and so they don't feel that they are um, um, westernized, let's say. You see what I'm saying? It's like they want to keep protecting them from protect their religion by teaching them more about Islam and things like that. We have also some other charity organizations that help the new Muslims. We have some of them that they help also um, the poor families and things like that. And also in the masjid themselves, they also have a department, other than the outreach department, to help those people who are in need. That they take it from the zakah money from the people who actually pay their zakah or their obligatory charity every year, and they call it Baytul Mal, means the house of the wealth, to help those women and men that they are in need. But again, for those men and women that they are in need, they have to go and apply for it, and they have to do things like this. So it got a little complicated for me to do anything here in Texas with any organization, because that I have, as I said, to go through some kind of political things and things like that. But when I was in Alabama, this is how my idea started with the sister closet thing. Is there was a small masjid that they collected a lot of clothes, and they have like a small room that they actually stacked all these clothes in that room, and it's been there for like 3 years, and no one actually looked at those clothes. And I was like, hey, can I go and look? And they say, yeah, sure, go for it. So it took me a whole day, me and my friend and her daughters, to sort all the things and all the clothes. So we found a lot of nice abayas and hijabs that really like very excellent condition that people can use. And we have, of course, other clothes like for men and for children that they probably don't need those, right? So we took those ones that they don't need it to the Salvation Army and to the thrift store, and we donated them over there. But we kept the Islamic clothes. And I have a van a big van, and then I put all these clothes in the van, and then I went to the masjid, and there was like a gathering for the new Muslims, and I said, hey, we have some clothes if you want to come and look at them. And it was like an ice cream truck standing outside of the masjid, that they come and they just look at the clothes. It was so funny. And they just came and they took most of it. And I mean, I tell you, it was a lot of clothes. And I was like so happy, that I felt so good, because really, new Muslims, many of them, they come from broken homes. Many of them, they are single moms, that they really need some help, right? And to buy clothes online, like, if you want to get a abaya, at least you have to pay $30, $40, maybe $60 with the shipping and everything, to bring it over to the house. And so I really appreciate. I looked at your store, and I really appreciate the prices that you have over there. That they're really nice, good prices that people can afford, right? But if you want to go to other stores, I don't want to say names, they are really expensive, right? And so I helped those sisters, and I started collecting clothes. And then I went to Virginia, and in Virginia they have a big masjid, but but where it was like 30 minutes away from me. But there is another like two masjids that they are close to me. They're not really masjids, they're musalla. That means they only open like once a day, once a week. And sometimes they open the other days, but they're like very small, and not a lot of people go there. And so I found that one of those masajid is in a very poor area, like very, very poor area. And they really need some help. They even like, they can barely even like pay for their bills, And so I went to the big masjid, and the big masjid was awesome. The Islamic Center of Virginia, may Allah bless them. They were very helpful with me. They were very nice, and I just put an application there, and I said, hey, listen, we really need help to this masjid, that they're really in need, and most of them are converts, most of them are reverts, and they really need help. And without even thinking, we got like a big bucket, and we wrote on it, sister closet, and anybody would like to then donate any clothes, shoes, anything like that. People were like bringing clothes like crazy, very nice abayas, nice Pakistani clothes, and things like that. And I could fill my van again and take it to the other masjid and give away a lot of clothes. And I remember it was Eid time last. It was Eid al-Fitr or Eid al-Adha. No, I think it was Eid al-Adha. Eid al-Adha, when people donated. I don't know who was that. I think it was a place like a store or something, that they have brand new Pakistani clothes, that they brought it to the masjid, and they filled out the whole bucket, plus like a lot of like five other big boxes, like those moving boxes of clothes. And we put them um, in the van, and I have a video for it. And I took it to the other masjid, and mashallah, a lot of people came and took a lot of clothes. I even like could donate for other non-Muslims too, that they came over just to look at the clothes, and they were so beautiful. It was a great Eid, that people could celebrate the Eid with new clothes. And so I love the idea. I love to do it again. But right now in Texas, I only have some old clothes for me, that they are in a very good condition. They're like 5 and 6X large, because I shrank a lot. I lost a lot of weight. And so I'm giving those away to the new sisters. If anyone is big size and would like to donate, would like to have some clothes, so they can come and pick them up, or I can ship them to them if they are not in Texas. Also, for any other people that they would like to donate clothes for me, I can send you my address, and you can send them to me as well, inshallah. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. In Texas here, we don't have a lot of connection between Muslims, like one on one, because most of the Muslims over here are so busy in their lives, and they have their own families, they have their own business. And so many of the reverts here in the big cities, that they feel that the Muslims are so cold, that the Muslims don't care about them, that the Muslims, they're just separated from each other. and it's a problem, especially here in the big cities. Smaller city, probably they would feel much like smaller masajid I'm talking about, that they probably feel that it's more a family with less people, because people know each other, they can come and talk to each other and things like that, and so they feel that, oh, we're the only Muslims here, we have to take care of each other. But in big cities like in Dallas over here, no, they have already their families, they already have their Muslim neighbors and things like that, so they really wouldn't feel the urge to help other Muslims who are in need, or Muslims that they need to company or anything like that. So I'm sorry, I don't want to feel like, I don't want you to feel like I'm a complainer, but it's just a whole totally different environment and atmosphere. Like I lived in Alabama, I lived in Virginia. I lived in Alabama for a year. It's been also a year in Virginia, and I saw the difference. And I thought that Texas is like any other state, that all the other states are like this, but it's not. No, I found out that it is not like this. It's actually, the bigger the masjid is, the colder it become, like as Muslims together. And not only that, is it becomes harder to do things in the mosque. You know what I mean? Especially in dawah and things like that. I don't blame them, because we have a lot of people here that you don't know who can be trusted or not, right? You don't know if they are really on the right doctrine of Islam, or they're coming over here to teach things that it is not related to the true Islam. You see what I'm saying? Like that. So I
Yeah.
don't blame them. I really don't. But at the same time, I wish that there is an easier way to get to those people who are really in need, and that they need help, and that they need support. You see what I'm saying? Especially the new Muslims. Um, yeah. So
I think you have to be pretty strong as a new Muslim sometimes. I mean, I feel like I do because, like you said, a lot of people that are, born into Muslim homes, they have large supportive families, and they've just always been Muslim, so they know exactly what to do, and
yeah,
they've got this network already,
right.
and they don't need another person in there. They're fine. And so when that new lonely little Muslim comes and says, "Hi, everyone."
I know, right? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, as a new Muslim, I'm a revert too. I reverted 15 years ago. Although I am Arab and I speak Arabic, but for the whole 15 years, I felt like I'm an outsider all the time. First of all, like the new Muslims don't see me as a new Muslim because I speak Arabic, so they think that I am like one of these Arab people, cultural person. And when I come to the Arab people, they look at me as a new Muslim. You see, I'm saying that I am different than them, and it's true because I was raised differently. I was raised in a church. That I was raised around Christmas trees and Easter bunnies. You see what I'm saying? Like that. So, so I always felt as an outsider. So I totally understand, and I totally feel and sympathize with those new Muslims and the reverts, that they feel the same way like me. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.